And once again, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don with you on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. We are covering severe weather across central and East Alabama. The National Weather Service office in Birmingham has now issued a tornado warning for northeastern Elmore County in east central Alabama, central Coosa County in east central Alabama, central Tallapoosa County in east central Alabama, and southeastern Coosa County in east central Alabama. This warning is in effect until 3 p.m. At 2:21 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over western Lake Martin or near Equality, moving to the east at around 30 miles per hour. So let's take a look at the base velocity on this storm, and there is your possible tornado just to the east of Equality. And that's going to be moving on off to the northeast. So you folks between Kalijah and our town up there on 63 need to go ahead and go to your safe place. Again, anywhere along Highway 63 between our town and Kalijah, you need to be in your safe place now. We will take a look at some times here. We're talking if this storm holds together, Dadeville in about 30 minutes and Camp Hill in about 42 minutes. Again, if the storm holds together, your possible tornado is going to be right there just to the north and west of Kalijah, right there on Lake Martin. Even you folks there at Kalijah, or maybe just a little bit south of Kalijah, should go ahead and go to your safe place anywhere along 63 all the way up to our town, maybe a little bit north of that. You should be in your safe place. You folks up here in Alexander City, nothing to worry about from this particular storm, though there are more storms off to your west that will be moving in shortly. So the areas of concern right now are going to be anywhere between our town and Kalijah on Highway 63, and then off to the east, up around Dadeville, back over toward Camp Hill, maybe as far north as Jackson's Gap on Highway 280. You need to be paying attention to this. Stillwaters, even Bama Park, need to be watching what's going on with this storm at this hour. As we zoom back out, let me check one other thing here. There may be more rotation trying to get going there near Central, between Equality and Central, so maybe even further south on 63. Maybe down to about Eclectic. You should be in your safe place. So it will include you folks in Eclectic. We'll call it anywhere north of Eclectic, up there around Kalijah, and then on up to our town, maybe even a little bit north up there around Wind Creek State Park. You should be in your safe place this afternoon. Very good signature now on radar with that tornado just to the south and southwest of our town, right there along Highway 63 on Lake Martin. As we go back over to the reflectivity, we turn that back on. You can see where the storms are at this hour across Tallapoosa County. Pretty nasty line of storms stretching from Alexander City all the way down to around Montgomery. And we have seen this particular cell go tornadic several times now this afternoon as it has moved across central Alabama. To the north, we have some very heavy thunderstorms there in eastern Talladega County moving into Clay County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Talladega County. This warning expires at 2:30 Central this afternoon with large hail, possibly 3/4 inch in diameter, and wind gust up to 60 miles per hour in this storm right along the Clay County Talladega County line. So you folks in southwestern Clay, we're talking about places like Chambers Springs, Ashland, Millerville, even down to around Goodwater. Heads up on this storm as it is about to move into your area. Raining very heavily now in Hollins. We also have very heavy rainfall moving into Brownsville and out there on Highway 148 just to the west of Millerville. Very heavy rainfall and probably some hail falling there as well. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning for Talladega County is set to expire here in less than a minute. In about 42 seconds, we'll see if the National Weather Service is going to extend that into Clay County. The fact that they have not already done that is an indication to me that this storm may be in a weakening phase. So we are looking at the computer. Let me see if we have any updates. We do not have anything from the Weather Service. We did have that cell that's moving into Clay County at one time this afternoon was producing a tornado back over to the west up in northern Chilton County, and but since they have just covered that storm with a severe thunderstorm warning, which means that it's no longer producing a tornado, and now it would appear they have allowed the severe thunderstorm warning to expire. Which are all indications that this particular cell is not as strong as it was, so it's weakening. So that's a good indication as these storms move out of central Alabama over into east Alabama. We are beginning to see a little bit of a trend here where some of these storms appear to be weakening as they move off to the east. Not to say that these storms could not pulsate and then fire back up in the next hour or so. They certainly could. Do that. So I don't want you folks in East Alabama to let your guard down, especially down here in central and southern Tallapoosa County. Between Jackson's Gap and Camp Hill, and then if the storm holds together, we could have a problem over here in Chambers County, especially around Lafayette. So if you're anywhere in central Chambers, back over toward Camp Hill, Dadeville, Jackson Gap, you really want to pay attention to what's happening down here in southwestern Tallapoosa County with this storm that is moving off to the east with that possible tornado down there around Kalijah at this hour. Zooming back out, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning they just issued for Clay County. So let's talk about that for a few moments. This is going to be for that storm coming out of Talladega County. So severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Clay County. This warning expires at 3:15 Central this afternoon and covers central and southern Clay County. Let me see if I can get the text of it up, and I'll read it to you. The National Weather Service office in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay County in east central Alabama. This warning is in effect until 3:15 p.m. Central. At 2:31 p.m. Central, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Winterboro to Parkdale, moving to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. The hazards with this storm include 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. The source is radar indicated, and the impact could be damaging winds, damaging roofs and siding and trees. Locations in the direct path of the storm include Lineville, Ashland, Barfield, Crackford, Millerville, and Mellow Valley. A tornado watch remains in effect for this same area, and that will continue until 8 o'clock this evening. So understand that anytime you have a severe thunderstorm warning in a tornado watch area, there's always that possibility that you could get a short fuse tornado warning. So if this storm were to pulse again, we could go from a severe thunderstorm warning to a tornado warning very quickly. Therefore, in this particular case, if I am in Millerville, if I'm up here in Ashland, I'm going to go ahead and identify my safe place, and I'm going to stay pretty close to it. In the event that this is upgraded to a tornado warning, I can get to my safe place real quick. Now, if you're in a mobile home in central or southern Clay County, it's too late to go anywhere else. You're going to have to chance it there. But if you're over here in Randolph County, if you're down here in Chambers County, if you're anywhere in our West Georgia counties, now's the time to evacuate that mobile home. If you've got something prearranged where you can go across the street to your neighbor's house, or if you can drive a short distance to a friend or family member's home, now is the time to do that if you're in a mobile home. You folks in Clay and southern Tallapoosa, it is too late for you to do that. So take that into consideration. consideration if you live in a sturdy built home or if you're at work today. You want to make sure that your safe place is already identified. That would be on the lowest floor. Basement is always best. You need to be in the center of that lowest floor in a closet, bathroom, small room, and you want to make sure you carry items with you to help protect you from flying debris, such as football helmets, motorcycle helmets, baseball batting helmets. You want to make sure that you carry blankets, pillows, cushions from a bed, a mattress from a bed, from a futon. You want to make sure that you have on clothing. You want to make sure that you've got on hard-soled shoes and carry something with you that makes a loud noise. Also, make sure you have your phone with you. You folks upstream from these storms, make sure that your batteries are charged on your phones. And make sure you have at least one, if not two, good apps on your phone so that you'll receive those weather notifications if warnings are issued for your area. Of course, you know what I'm going to say. Every one of you should have a NOAA weather radio. And if you don't have one after this event is over with, go get one from your local retail store, or you can order one online. Tallapoosa warned storm has been generally weakening. This is from the National Weather Service. They're telling us that the Tallapoosa warned storm has been generally weakening. They say that they will continue to monitor trends for the next couple of scans. That happens every 6 minutes or so. And if trends hold, they will be canceling the tornado warning. So that doesn't mean that if you're down here in Tallapoosa County that you can come out of your safe place. You need to stay there if you're in the path of the storm until that warning is lifted or canceled. And that, I got to tell you, it doesn't look nearly as pronounced as it did. We'll switch back to the base velocity. Yeah, that's pretty noisy. If there is a tornado there, it's going to be across 63 now, just to the north and northeast of Kalijah, or to the southeast of our town, pretty close to where you see that arrow on the screen. This storm will continue to move off to the northeast. It's moving directly at Dadeville. But again, this does not look nearly as significant as it did just a few moments ago. As a matter of fact, if I can load this up right quick, I'll show you what this looked like just on the last volume scan. So that's current, and I'll back it up right there. You can see the bright red colors embedded in the reds, and you have that mesoscale detected up there, and you have a little pink up here as well. That was at 3:29. That's about 10 minutes ago. And since then, we'll bring it current. We've lost some of that signature. I just don't see it as well defined as it did a few moments ago. And we've still got some pretty good wind, really some strong wind down here around Kalijah as this storm line moves across the lake. But I don't see anything. I don't see a tight couplet down there. So while this does appear to be weakening, the warning has not been canceled yet. So stay in your safe place if you're down there. I got to be honest with you, this storm up in Clay County looks better than that one does down there along Lake Martin. Look at that. Just to the west of Gage. Keep in mind these radar scans are about 4 to 6 minutes old, so this is probably directly over Gage at this time. So pretty strong indication of rotation, at least aloft. Now, this may not be at the ground, but up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we do have rotation up there just west or very near Gage, running to the east, just north of Highway 148 in Clay County. So this is probably going to end up pretty close to Ashland over the next 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes or so. And that's why I'm telling you folks, in this particular setup, just because you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to treat that as though it's a tornado warning, because that could change at any moment. They could upgrade this to a tornado warning. So stay very close to your safe place if you're in Clay County up there around Ashland. This is coming directly at you. Again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning. We do not officially have a tornado warning, but there is most definitely rotation in this storm. They are just west of Ashland as it moves on off to the east. For those of you who are listening to us over on God's Country and on the Classic, there in Clay and Talladega counties. So let's go back over to the reflectivity. And for you folks across the rest of the area, Randolph County, you're good for now, but we've got to watch that storm that is over there in Clay County. The National Weather Service has indicated a tornado warning now for Clay County. That's what I was just telling you. So now we have a tornado warning for Clay County at 2:38 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles south of Waldo or 10 miles west of Ashland, moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. That's exactly what I was just telling you. Same area. Let's go back over here to it. Apologize, I zoomed in a little too fast there. But this area here, let me go back to the velocity. You can see it much better right there. There's your possible tornado, very close to Gage, between Gage and Chambers Springs, and this is moving off to the east directly at Ashland, Alabama. So we got to make sure that you are in your safe place over here if you're in central Clay County at this hour. Bear with me just 1 second as I let the radio stations know that we are broadcasting live in the event that you guys are not already with us, and you may very well be. So Birmingham has now canceled the tornado warning for Coosa County, for Elmore, and for Tallapoosa. So we have lost the Tallapoosa County tornado warning. So you folks down here in Tallapoosa County, you still have a very strong storm about to cross over 280 between Jackson Gap and Camp Hill, but that storm is no longer containing a possible tornado. We now have a tornado warning for Clay County in east central Alabama. That is for a possible tornado between Gage and Chambers Springs, directly over Gage at this hour, and that's going to be moving on off toward Ashland, or maybe just a tad bit north of Ashland. If you're anywhere between Spring Hill, Ashland, you need to go to your safe place now. Even you folks over here in Lineville, you need to start paying attention to this storm. We're looking at the base velocity, and you can see the reds and the greens that are pretty close together there. That is an indication of a possible tornado. It's certainly telling us that there is rotation in the storm. We'll look at it from a couple of different products. No question what we're looking at right there. That rotation may actually be closer to Chambers Springs. Nonetheless, if you're over here south, if you're anywhere from Spring Hill to Ashland down to High Pine, you need to be in your safe place right now. Let me turn on some road names for you here. All right, Antioch Church Road. Let's see, Bassett Road, that's off of Highway 130. Hickory Hollow Lane, Hayden Drive, Meadowlark Lane, of course, State Route 130. I'm just going to turn on several road names here. You need to be in your place of safety if you see your road name on the screen here. All right, so those are all the locations there in central Clay County that need to take cover immediately. Your possible tornado is going to be right there just south of Chambers Springs, moving on off to the east northeast. Ashland proper, you need to be in a safe place. Bear with me here. Bowden Grove, anywhere between Bowden Grove and Ashland. That big red area is not the tornado itself. If there is one, it's going to be between the big red area and that light green you see there just to the north. It'll be somewhere right in the middle, though we may have more rotation trying to form down here around Gage. We've got two markers right there, so it is quite possible that we could have a southern storm forming within this polygon that may rob energy from that northern storm. We're also continuing a severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado. That's down in Elmore County and Montgomery County. So I'll zoom back out. And for those of you that may be trying to send me messages in the chat room, we got a little different setup today. I'm actually doing this from our Emergency Operations Center, so I'm not able to closely monitor your comments. If I'm not talking about your location, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. I'm sure that there are a number of folks in there that are asking questions about particular locations, and I'm not ignoring you. It's just that we're in live wall-to-wall coverage now. We've got a tornado situation here across Clay County, and that is the only area that has a tornado warning presently, so that's what we're going to spend our time talking about until this warning is either cleared or is canceled. National Weather Service in Birmingham continues the tornado warning for Clay County at 2:45 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Ashland, moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So if you're in Ashland, you need to be in your safe place. You folks up here in Lineville, you need to go ahead and go to your safe place as well. Anywhere between High Pine and Lineville needs to be in a safe place right now. Need to go to the lowest floor in your home or place of business, to the center of that floor in a small room or bathroom. You want to stay away from windows. If you're anywhere between High Pine, Ashland, Lineville, you need to go to your safe place now. For those of you listening to us on radio, it is time for you to go to your safe place. If you're on the road, if you're traveling anywhere on Highway 130, if you're traveling anywhere on Highway 9 between Ashland and Lineville, you don't need to be out there. You need to find somewhere safe and ride this storm out inside of a sturdy structure, not inside of your automobile. I'll go ahead and give you folks over here in Randolph County a heads up also. We're going to want to go ahead and at least identify where you need to go if you're in Randolph County. We're talking about an area north of Flat Rock and south of Folsom. So that would be that area right there along Highway 48, stretching up to the northwest corner of Randolph County. You need to go ahead and get prepared to go to your safe place, especially if you're in locations such as the Flat Rock Park area, Mad Indian Creek, Fuller's Crossroads, Swag. If you're up here in Wildwood, these are all little communities over in Randolph County, western Randolph County. Fuller's Crossroads, Center West, Foster's Crossroads. You want to make sure that you're ready to go to your safe place in the event that this tornado warning is extended over into Randolph County. At the present time, the possible tornado is just west of Ashland, moving to the northeast. Anywhere in Clay County from Bowden Grove all the way down to down to Millerville, including Ashland and Lineville, Barfield. You all need to be in your safe place now. Delta, you need to go to your safe place, as the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect has now been replaced with a tornado warning for central Clay County, and that will continue in effect until 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The storm is moving to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. It is radar indicated, and the maximum sized hail in this storm is expected to be around 3/4 of an inch. Let's go back over to the reflectivity so we can kind of look at this thing on radar together, and you can see just torrents amount of rainfall falling now in western Clay County. I mean, we're talking just copious amounts of water. There's no way you can see to drive. If you're out there on 130 right now, if you're on Highway 9, basically from Millerville all the way back up to Ashland, is just a complete washout. At the moment, very, very dangerous driving conditions. So if you're on either side of this storm, don't drive into it. Find a safe place to pull off and ride this thing out as it passes through. It won't last long, to keep yourself safe. And then let me see if we can. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, we're talking. We're talking some rates pretty high there. A couple of 57 dBZs, almost 60 in this storm. So that is the amount of radiation, not radiation, but radio signal that is transmitted from the radar, hits the liquid and bounces back to the radar. The higher that number, the more dense those rain droplets are. So if anything over about 30 is significant, and you can see there we're hitting some upper 50s and close to 60s. There's a 56, 57.2 dBZ right there, right along Highway 130, just southwest of Bowden Grove. So some really, really, really heavy, intense rainfall taking place there across Clay County. Let me see if we can. Just bear with me a second. Yeah, that's not wanting to work out for me for some reason. Okay. All right, so we'll go with that warning from the National Weather Service again. The possible tornado is now just west of Ashland, between Ashland and Bowden Grove, moving on off to the northeast. It's going to come very close to downtown Lineville. So if you're in Ashland, or north of Ashland, if you're in Lineville, anywhere, whether you're south of Lineville or north of Lineville, you should be in your safe place immediately. Let's go back over here to the base velocity. Again, the possible tornado is going to be in between those two areas jumping out of the screen right there at you. I mean, there's no question we have rotation there. Crossing over 130 now, just to the west of downtown Ashland. There's the wind shear product confirming that possible tornado, gate-to-gate shear. No question we have gate-to-gate shear there. And this is a really good signature we have going on right now, so I would not at all be surprised if we don't have some damage taking place at this moment. And I apologize. I'm multitasking. I have multiple things going here at one time. But again, we're on the air live because of a tornado warning that's now in effect for central Clay County. Tornado is very close to Ashland. Next up would be Lineville. We have a very good radar signature on this particular storm. So even though I'm not getting anything from the Weather Service that confirms that we have a tornado on the ground, everything I'm looking at suggests that that is a very good possibility. So I want you all to be in your safe place. I'm not one of those high-paid meteorologists. I'm a messenger. I take the information from the Weather Service and I relay it to you. But after many, many, many years of doing this, I can tell you that what I'm looking at today in Clay County, it looks highly suspect that we may actually have a tornado on the ground there just west of Ashland, moving off to the northeast. So I want you to take the least course of regret here, and make sure that you stay hunkered down. If you're anywhere around Ashland, if you're anywhere around Lineville, even down here around Shiloh, and up here around Barfield, let's play it safe and go to our safe spot and ride this storm. Let's see if this is an update. Birmingham continues the tornado warning. This is down in South Alabama. This is for Bullock and Macon. So there's a tornado warning down there around Union Springs, Alabama, for those of you that may be traveling down to the south. And I'm getting information that a new tornado watch extension to the southeast is forthcoming from the National Weather Service. So you folks down there in the Columbus, Phoenix City area, stand by for a tornado watch that most likely will cover you here in the next few moments or so. As a matter of fact, that tornado warning for Macon and Bullock is lined up to affect the Columbus area if it holds together. But once again, the reason we are live right now is because of a possible tornado, a severe thunderstorm with a possible tornado is moving across central Clay County at this hour. It's very close to Ashland, Alabama. And we're just going to kind of bounce around here with a couple of different looks at this. Now, I would put the center of circulation there just north of downtown Ashland. Maybe up here on 4th Street, northwest. Well, new volume scan, so let's clear that out. Let's put the rotation maybe up here around County Road 31. Kelly Road. Watershed Road. It's going to be on the north side of downtown Ashland, I do believe. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. And this is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Chambers and Tallapoosa until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Tallapoosa and east central Alabama, Chambers County and east central Alabama until 4 p.m. At 2:56, severe storms were located along a line extending from near Jackson's Gap to near Dadeville to near Martin Dam, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Locations that may be impacted by this line of storms would include Valley, Lynette, Dadeville, Camp Hill, Lafayette, Stroud, Lafayette, Jackson's Gap, Waverly, Lakeview, 5 Points, Casita, Post Oak Forks, Amity Park, Standing Rock, and Ridge Grove, as well as Buffalo. That's a line of severe thunderstorms. Now, just as we saw happen in Clay, if you are in this area, and let me go back to the reflectivity, and let's take a look. Bear with me here. We've lost the radar momentarily. Okay, we may have to... bear with me here. We're going to have to restart. Okay, if we go back over here and take a look in Tallapoosa and Chambers, this is that storm that we've just got the warning on. It stretches from about Budston down through Dadeville and then down into near Tallahassee. Again, folks, this could go tornadic at any moment. So if you're included in the severe thunderstorm watch, or warning, I should say, in southern Tallapoosa and in Chambers, you need to go ahead and consider this a tornado warning from the respect of knowing where your safe place is going to be. Go ahead and make sure that you're close by your safe place, because you could go under a warning here at any moment. All right, so the National Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for Clay County. That is good news. Let me read the verbiage on that right quick, and let's see what they're saying. The tornado warning for northeastern Clay County is canceled. The tornado threat has diminished, and the tornado warning has been canceled. However, large hail and damaging winds remain likely, and a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for that particular area. So that's good news for Clay County. That's good news for Randolph. You can back down or stand down a little, if you will, even though I don't want you to think that you're out of the woods here, because you're not. This is still a very strong storm that's moving through the Ashland area right now, and eventually will cross over 77 up there where 77 and 48 intersect in Lineville, and then stretching all the way down to the southern stretches of Clay County. It is coming a major storm right now, and that's going to continue moving on off to the east. Now, you folks in Randolph, you most likely are going to get a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm. And again, anytime you go under a severe thunderstorm warning and you're already under a tornado watch, you have to treat those severe thunderstorm warnings just as though they're tornado warnings, in the respect that you know where you're going to go if you get a short fuse tornado warning. That's what happens a lot of times in this type of environment. You'll get a severe thunderstorm warning, and then they'll upgrade that to a tornado warning very quickly. So you got to be ready to go to your safe place. You folks down here in Talladega, southern Talladega County, back over into central and southern Chambers, you got to be ready to go to your safe place. That is a very, very strong line of storms moving through northeastern, southeastern Tallapoosa, down into southern Tallapoosa, about to move in to Chambers County. And for you folks down here in the Columbus area, you have a tornado warning back off to your west. That warning is in effect until 4:45 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. So that could be affecting the Columbus-Phoenix City area here in the next hour as it comes in out there on Highway 80. So we have no tornado warnings in effect at the moment. So we are going to step aside, but I will return immediately if we get a new warning, a new tornado warning, and continue with our coverage. Y'all hunker down out there. Be very careful. Take these storms serious. They are pretty strong out there this afternoon. And our coverage will continue momentarily here on Dr. Don.